All right, goons, what it do? The big dog is back, and it's time to talk NBA 2K24. Now, with NBA 2K23 in my rearview mirror now, I'm ready to move on, push forward to the next chapter, the next season, and hopefully the next adventure. As we go into this season, I didn't really talk too much about all the stuff that was released and revealed over the past few weeks when it came down to the MyPlayer builder, when it came down to the gameplay blog. But I plan on trying to use this one video to give a little talk about all that and just some of my own takeaways and opinions on some of these features that, stood out to me, and hopefully how I expect them to be executed throughout the course of the year, throughout the course of the season. Now, before we get into that, as you can see, the first thing I did take a look at is the achievement list for NBA 2K24, and there were a couple of achievements that stood out to me. Now, we all know that I'm not the big My Team player. Now and then I'll go in there just to, pull some cards that I earned from my pre-order, just because, like, at the end of the day, I'd rather have a team. But this year I might actually play a little bit because I got a homie of mine that play on PS5, and me and him talk a little trash back and forth at work. And so I love to be able to settle that debate between the two of us. One of us going to come to work with a salty look on our face, and I'm hoping it ain't me because I don't think I can live it down. But let's look at these achievements. Now, first achievement already lets me know this is more of my career. First of all, my career set. So, Sunset Park, defeat 8 boss characters at Sunset Park, defeat 8 boss characters at the point, win the street ball tournament at the yard, get 3 stars on all 4 family flashback games, which means that we're gonna have some more flashback games like we did in 2K23, which was pretty cool because they told their own little stories of your backdrop. Flash of Brilliance, activate a GOAT skill for the first time, and as you can see, a couple of these achievements, people. There's already a 0.01% of it that got it. So I'm going to just sit up here and say that maybe that's somebody that work in 2K that got it, quote unquote, wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Full potential, unlock the tier 4 GOAT skill rewards in all 4 categories. In the conversation, reach tier 5 on the GOAT list. Okay. Moving on up, reach tier 4 on the GOAT list. Okay. Sweet 16, reach tier 3 on the GOAT list. The Elite 8 reached tier 2 on the GOAT list, and reached tier 1 on the GOAT list. The big 3. Okay, so we already know that that's gonna put you into some heavy competitive category, and there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs and ifs and everybody gonna have an opinion on that one. So that one's gonna be a pretty cool achievement to figure out and find out exactly who are the other 2 that will be on that list with you. Now everybody has their opinion. And there is, of course, MJ should be on that list, granted. There's the case for LeBron should be on that list, granted. But then there's a case for the Black Mamba himself should be on that list, granted. So which one of these 3 do you see? Oh, well, hell, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of old school legends that just might be on that top 3 list of all time, you know what I'm saying? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, the list kind of goes on. So which 3 are going to be listed in that tier 1, right? And that's going to be a cool question to see and then get answered, and whether it differs from career to career. So best 3 centers versus, best 3 power forwards versus best 3 small forwards, or top 3 players across the league. Now, we all believe that it's most likely going to be top 3 players across the league. And so that kind of makes you wonder, which are the 3 GOATs that they're going to have on that list, and who are you going to knock out when you get to the big 3? Okay. Then you got the GOAT, reach the number 1 overall spot on the GOAT list. Everybody's looking forward to that one. Now, here's where it actually gets pretty interesting for me, because these are achievements that I don't remember seeing in 2K since I want to say maybe go all the way back to 2K14 or 2K13, something like that. Set the single season record in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, or 3-pointers made. Okay, Mr. Goodyear, record breaker, set career record in points, rebound, assists, blocks, steals, or 3-pointers. And that's over the course of a career. Billy the Kid, win Rookie of the Year, MVP, Finals MVP, and the championship in the same season. They could have just said in the first season, because quite frankly, you ain't a rookie after that. All right. The MVP of MVPs, win 7 NBA MVPs to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which now is an achievement that allows you to sit up and say, okay, maybe it's worth playing more than 1 season. If you're achievement chaser, kind of like I am a little bit. 7 rings to rule them all, win 7 NBA championships to pass Michael Jordan. And that was one of my goals in 2K23, and I didn't have the time to do it. And I was so upset with myself. But now I have a reason to push myself to achieve that. So I'm looking forward to that one. Then of course we got the Mamba Moments achievements. Mini Mamba earned 12 stars. Full Mamba 21 stars. So apparently there's a total of 21 stars in the Mamba Moments, and I want to feel like I think the Jordan one had 45. I want to say I think so. I could be wrong, but earned 21 stars in Mamba Moments. So if it's done like the Jordan Challenge, the Mamba Moments, then that means there's 3 stars per moment. So maybe 7 moments in total, because that achievement says full Mamba. So that means earn 21 stars, which means that those are all the stars that you can earn. 3 challenges a star, 3 stars a challenge. Now, I'm guessing maybe 7 challenges. It'd be good to see which 7 challenges they go with. Then of course you got the W achievements. Now I always, once I get down into, I've gotten my build to where I want, I then start playing the W and kind of getting that little feel of the game and getting that little change of pace when it come down to it. It's actually a pretty fun mode to play. I played a couple of games on the W online in previous iterations, not 2K23, which is what I'm upset about. That's why I didn't have the time to really be able to put my energy in a little bit of everything. And I was mad at myself with that one. So maybe I can get back to it. But with the my career achievements that they added, it really feels like, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time playing my career and trying to balance that with playing some park and some rec and playing online. So then of course you got, your my team achievements. Those always are there. Complete a shattered prize. Now I did hear about that. There's supposed to be certain cards that are available just by, and you'll find them in so many different aspects of my team. So you got to kind of just explore my team, different game modes, the different areas, all that kind of stuff, just to find those pieces to unlock those cards. So that's gonna be pretty cool to dive into that. Of course, you got your collector badges, and then you got your simple ones. 5 perfect release shots. 10 perfect release shots in a single game, win a game, make a point, win a game by more than 10 points, win a game by more than 20, outscore an opponent by 10 in a single quarter, take a 10-point lead into the half, 3-point shots in any one game, turn the ball over 10 or fewer times than your opponent. I mean, the simple ones, all right? So finish the game where all 5, all these are the simple achievements, but those my career achievements do kind of got me a little itchy now, got me feeling some kind of way, feeling good about what we can expect. So now let's dive into this MyPlayer builder and let's talk a little bit about that. All right, so before we dive into the improvements of the MyPlayer builder or the all new badge progression and regression system, I did want to talk about a couple of things that stood out to me in the gameplay blog. The first thing, of course, is the changing of the shot timing release setting to shot timing visual cue setting. So essentially it allows you to go from going very early to very late as what you consider your release point, and instead go with a animation cue point. So whether it's the jump or the set point of your shot or the top of your shot, the release of your shot. And it's essentially the same thing. So it's essentially going with very early to very late, but it will make it much easier to play with players and teams that you're not really familiar with. So you can sit up here and say, release point of the shot. If you can just see when the release point, when that ball starts to leave the hand, you can give you a chance the best opportunity to hit that green window. I think that's a pretty cool little change. It's a slight change, but it's a pretty cool little one. The next one was something they mentioned about in paint play. Now, and I love going for putback dunks, and it's usually I double tap X as I'm running to the rim and hope that I can, grab that and throw it back down. But they really tweaked it a little bit this time. So now, essentially, them big men who got standing dunks on high, instead of them having to press double X and probably having a weird jump animation for a putback, they can press Y to go for the original rebound and immediately follow it up with X to put it back while still in the air. To me, if that's executed pretty well, we're going to see some really good putback dunks that we normally see from the computers in the rec. When you catch a computer going for a putback with the aggressive force, we're going to see more of that, and that's only if you got a good glass cleaner who can grab boards and you can easily put that bad boy back. That's what I like about that, because now you don't have to grab the rebound and then go back up for a pump fake 18 times to get somebody up in the air, just so that way you can then draw the foul. I like the fact that you can press Y or press triangle to grab the rebound and then press X or press square immediately after in order to put it right back. And that's going to be pretty cool. And it's all about how big that timing window is and how much it's going to work. So I did like that. There was one other thing that I messed with about it. And to me, this is all going to come from hands-on experience. And that is they made some changes for defense. And they also made some changes for the way AI substitution worked. Now, y'all know I play a lot of my career. So I'm looking forward to AI substitutions being a little smarter than they were in the past. Like sometimes they'd be pretty good, but sometimes you'll find yourself playing in games where you're up by 30. It's the fourth quarter. You got no energy, and the coach is like, stay out there because you fouled so early in the game that we had to sit you down for like 8 minutes. We need you to go back out there and make those 8 minutes up at the end of the game, even though you up by 30. That's a chance where you can get injured. That's a chance where you can get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know it don't happen in my career when it comes down to your player in general, but it's a weird thing to have in game, and I'm hoping that that's one of the things that get adjusted with the new AI substitutions based on what's going on in the game, where your team is, who's hot, who's not, and how well everybody's doing. I also don't want to see random, starting lineups change out of nowhere when I know who's playing well and who's performing well on the team outside of injuries. Last thing, of course, is the takeovers. The fact that now you got your single, your double takeovers, but on top of all that, when you got team takeover, you can choose whether or not you control the entire team or just your player. That's something I've wanted since they brought in the team takeover. It was cool the first year, but it takes you out of the my career aspect or the playing for myself kind of aspect, because out of nowhere, team takeover comes on and you end up being on a whole nother player that's moving the ball up the court, instead of being on your player trying to sprint up the court and get in the best position to get a bucket. So I'm glad to see that team takeover is still there, but it's not an option for whether you want to control your player or your team. All right, now it's time to talk about the improvements to the MyPlayer builder and the subsequent creation or recreation of the badge progression system. So first and foremost, let's look at the builder. The builder's UI gets cleaner every year. I like that. But when it comes down to it, the base information is still there. Essentially, you choose a position, height, weight, wingspan. You can then pick a NBA build that you want to build your template off of, or you can go in there and do what you like to do with the creative numbers and figure out how you want your build to play. Now, the thing I like about the NBA template aspect of it is simple. You can create a Steph Curry build and go into the NBA just like that. You'll have all his signatures, his from his jump shots to his crossovers to his free throws, all his moves will be given to you, and every badge that you can earn with that build will automatically be at bronze. So then all you got to do is start tiering your badges up by practicing these moves in game. The other way I like about the NBA template build is essentially you can take that same Steph Curry build and say, okay, well, I don't need my shooting to be as high as Steph Curry. So there's certain badges of his that you won't get. You also won't get his signature animations, and none of your badges will start off at bronze. But you can take that build and then say, okay, well, I want to take a little bit of his close shot and his ability to finish inside with the layup, with that, that nice little high off the glass floater, and instead I want to give him more defense and everything. So you can mix and match and, remix. I wouldn't want to go up against a Steph Curry that can shoot the lights out the gym and strap me up like a pair of drawers. I'm just saying, like, there's so many different kinds of builds that you can create just off the templates alone. And then to go in and remix it and put your own little flair on it. Oh man, you might be Steph Curry 2.0. You might be LeBron James 2.0, could be MJ 2.0. You can take any one of these builds, the Black Mamba 2.0, you can take any one of these builds and just make a small tweak to an ability of theirs that they were great at and say, okay, I don't need to be that great at that. I can take 5 points off of here and still hit consistently. And I can take those 5 points and put them over here. And now, I'm saying, I'm Kobe with the handles like Kyrie. I'm just saying, like, you can really mix it up. I'm Kobe with AI's handles, so that's a pretty cool little neat trick. Now, let's really focus on the nitty gritty of the MyPlayer builder, this brand new badge progression system and regression system. And I know some people feel some kind of way about it, and I'm up in the air for it. And the reason why is because it's simple. Until I see exactly how the regression is going to truly work in game, I can't really have a heavy negative opinion on it. It could be a bad thing. But the thing I like about the fact that we have badge progression and regression, it literally means that no more badge points. So any build that you create, instead of like 2K23 where it says that, hey, you got 23 badge points in this category, 22 in this category, 20 in this category, 15 in this one. It's telling you that, hey, based on the attributes that you put in these categories and this spot and this attribute, so you gave yourself a high 3-point shot, you gave yourself a high mid-range shot, you'll be able to get Mini Magician at gold or Hall of Fame. You'll be able to get, if you hit the 3-pointer at 99, you'll be able to get, limitless range at Hall of Fame. So I like that aspect, and it doesn't mean that you have to waste badge points to guarantee that you get Hall of Fame limitless versus saying, okay, I can only get one Hall of Fame badge. No, every badge that you can get at Hall of Fame on your build is actually obtainable. It's not something that's gatekeep behind badge points. Now, all you got to do is be willing to put the work in the game. Now, and I know, like I said, the caveat to it is that if you're playing online and you're playing with a team of people who don't utilize you, does that hurt you? And the answer is yes, it can. But we also heard them talk about, I think Mike Wang mentioned it, that the goal is to find the right balance. If you're still playing good basketball, even if you're playing with teammates that don't utilize you effectively, then you won't take the biggest hit. But you also got the things like the badge perks and the floor setters. So that way, even if you find yourself in a game and you know that there's a chance you're playing with randoms, they might not even pass you the ball now once. You can put that floor setter on your limitless range that you just work so hard to earn at Hall of Fame. You might be able to put it there and say, I don't want this to be able to drop below gold. I don't want this to be able, who knows, you might be able to even have a badge that keeps it from being able to drop. You might have a floor setting badge that keeps it from being able to drop below Hall of Fame. It's the one Hall of Fame badge that you can protect through the game, right? And then other badges, okay, I can protect it all the way to gold. Certain things like that. Now, and I know you can only apply these to, like one badge at a time or, one badge per category, something like that. But at the end of the day, you have those badges that help counterbalance the possibility of interacting or encountering negative play. Now, like I said, I'm all for seeing how this unfolds, but I like the elimination of badge points. Ultimately, I'm willing to try anything new on top of badge points because now I don't have to think, do I want to spend a point on this move, this badge that I probably won't trigger? Now, here's the caveat to that. I ain't gonna lie to you. The most hard to play against people are going to be lockdowns more so this year. So the ones that create pure lockdowns that can get extremely high Hall of Fame badges on defense and everything, it's going to be hard to get those badges up off of them. It's going to be hard to tier their badges down. Like, you're going to have to be able to balance that out with the right offensive Hall of Fame badge. You're going to have to be able to break them down and get them out your way. Ankle breaker is going to be a hell of a badge to have because it's going to allow you to create that space to actually give them defensive breakdown. So it's going to be a pretty good year all in all. I can't wait. I'm a little hyped. I'm a little antsy, but I really wanted to just kind of like get this information out and just talk about the badges, talk a little bit about my opinions on the badges. I know everybody has their own thoughts, their own opinions, and I'm all for hearing it down in the comments below, but I'm looking forward to it in 2K24. So like I said, y'all hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure you turn on the post notifications so that way you catch all the videos. I'm trying to be more consistent, trying to be more current, trying to hit y'all with the content as I lay it down. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to see what happens on day one, where I bounce around to, whether I decide to take my no badge build out to the park, and we're going to see what kind of build that I am going to go with. Now, just to give y'all a piece of information, my goal is to go with the similar build that I built this year. And the first video that I drop on that build is just going to be on the build makeup. So that way, because I've had people in the past couple of seasons ask me about my build, and it's like, let's send the first video of it so you get to see what the build is. But as far as what I do to make my build, hopefully I'll be able to give y'all a little bit more details with that when I drop the first video on day one. It's your boy, Ju King the Boss. I ain't done that one in a minute. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.